Sorry. Yeah, still Christmas video. But it's gonna be on that whole life subject. So run away. Yep. So I did do another video. Just it's on the website. Just opening my Christmas presents. Made a poncho out of my blanket because I like this. I always thought ponchos were kind of not gay, but sort of faggoty. Even Clint Eastwood. I mean, he wore one. It was like, yeah, it's a little queer. But now I like it. It's a good winter kind of thing. And it's soft. So this might be my winter suit. Do the shaman thing. And, yeah, it just feels good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes. And this is my little booba. My little booba. I will rub my booba. So I'll be a shaman with a booba. Yes. Ooh, booba. Yes. So it's all good. Anyway, so on to business. Got to do the business. So anyway, defending champ guy did a response video. Even though he did a last video, I knew it wasn't going to be his last video. People always say that kind of stuff. My last video too, and then it's not their last video. Anyway, yeah. So let's continue the conversation till one of us is dead. Exactly. That's the way we should do this thing. So yeah, I'm probably going to be dead first 3 or 4 days. That's all. Who knows? I really can't see much future. Maybe my eyes are just squinting, but yeah, I just don't see any horizon anymore. But anyway, that's a whole different subject. So look, you spend most of your video again just talking about this, how we communicate with each other and whether we have to do all this, foreplay or whatever before we can get to the dirty deed of really getting to some philosophy. And my argument is that everything just gets lost in this pretense of argument, and no one really argues about anything, and it just turns into crap. All this indirect mumbo jumbo. So yeah, I just speak my mind, and I call myself asshole in videos. There's a video just a couple days ago, where I'm calling me an asshole like 3 or 4 times in the video. It's no big deal. But like I say, I concede you're allowed to think it's a big deal. You're allowed to react to that kind of stuff, but I just logically can't make any sense out of that. Somebody who's seeking the truth or seeking understanding or sincerely in the game of doing the philosophy thing, I just can't see them being put off by that kind of bullshit. If somebody's challenging their belief system, I just can't see how they would not respond unless they're playing a game, unless they are like a Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones, one of these other assholes who just controls the environment, so they don't have to account for the crap they say. They can just play the game because it's all a game to them. It doesn't have anything to do with saying what you think. It's all about saying what the audience wants to hear, and yeah, I'm not doing that. All right, the other part of it is what method is the right method to get human beings where they need to get. And I'd like it if all you had to do was talk to them and say to the human beings, this is the truth of our existence, blah blah blah. You spell it out nice and pretty, and they get it. But part of me says that the only way they're going to let go of the bullshit is they have to be humbled. They have to be forced to let go. They just won't freely give it up. They have to really have an incentive. You really have to knock it out of them. You have to literally knock it out of them. And you're not going to, I just don't, it's very hard to seduce it out of them, to pluck it out of them, or whatever you're expecting people to do this. And it is a radical transformation, because I know I went through it myself, obviously. Where you realize just how silly your not only your selfish possession is, this idea that I'm more important than these other people, and the scheming that goes on in your brain. It's humiliating to be a scheming little bug, and when you can really figure that out, and that's what's running you, yeah, it's a big transformation in what you are. It tempers everything from then on. It changes the color of the glasses you're wearing, and hopefully it's the right color, right? I mean, that's what we're all trying to do is I mean, damn it. I'm not saying anybody wants to live a lie. But, as long as people have the impression that all truths are equal and that none really has the advantage, and that they can play a game, then they're gonna play that game. They're gonna play the give me a rationalization that works, and I'll go with that. So you know, and the expectations, you know, it has to come from inside of people. I mean, the expectation can't be imposed on them. Like, okay, the authority says live up to this standard. I don't think that'll do the job. It has to come from their own self. All of a sudden, their expectations are higher for themselves, and that's when you'll start doing the work. Is when your own expectations rise, and you're disappointed with yourself. Not because somebody made you pay for it. Not because you got some social sanction. Not because your failure was recognized by somebody else. Just because you recognize the failure. You recognize that you cheated, you took a shortcut, that you broke the rules. That it has to really come from inside. But anyway, this is all subject to whatever. This is YouTube. This is sort of new environment. We're just starting out doing this thing, and to me, it's obvious that any message can be conveyed by a lot of different messengers. And so maybe as more people start getting it, maybe there'll be some with a more patient personality that can convey it in some more sensitive way. I haven't found that person exactly yet, but maybe it's out there. But I think most people who get it are going to be so frustrated by the preposterousness of what's going on and just how far we are from the destination, you know, as a human race. I mean, what tiny percentage of human beings get it, that, you know, it just it automatically creates a huge frustration. It automatically creates an impatience and an anxiety that's really hard to just live with. It's really hard to convey something through that frustration, through that hopelessness. It's really hard to energize when you're hopeless, when you're feeling like, oh man, there's just no chance I'm gonna be able to get to these damn people. Yeah, so it's a daunting task kind of thing, and when it's too daunting a task, then, like I said, you're going to try to cheat a little. And I admit maybe I'm cheating. Maybe I'm cheating because I'm allowing too much of my own frustration and anger go through this camera. But yeah, what can I say? Sorry, but that's the way it is for now, anyway. Like I said, maybe somebody can do it better. I certainly don't have any sense of superiority, that I'm the greatest messenger in the world, and I'm blah 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 blah. No, I don't have any of that. So I come up with some good phrases now and then. I mean, I can appreciate some value that I might inject into this thing because I've thrown this crap in my brain, and once in a while I put a few words together that, you know, sings, and you know, maybe sometimes I even emote a personality that might endear somebody, because I might say it in such a way or sing it in such a way that it says something to them. But yeah, I'm not deluded with some kind of idea that I'm a better human being innately or something. I'm only better because the philosophy is better. It's more honest. So I guess I have that sense of superiority. I mean, how can I help but have that? I mean, if you live on a planet with 7 billion people and you're damn sure you're right, and you believe something completely different than they believe, you can't help but say, damn, I'm a little special or something. You gotta be able to see that. And you're not special in a bad way, because I don't think I'm wrong. And no one's demonstrating how I'm wrong. At least not making the argument that's persuaded me I'm wrong. And so that can go around in all kinds of circles about what's required as proof. And that's where this gets... So anyway, you spent most of your video just talking about this personality crap, which I think is fine. I mean, it's fine to talk about how we communicate with each other, because we really have to do that. Human beings have to learn how to communicate. They have to be able to get angry at each other without killing each other. These are important subjects, so I'm not saying they're not worth some video conversation on the subject of how we manage our human personalities in this conflict that we have to get through. I mean, we're heading for a future. We're going to have this huge conflict about this whole capitalism versus more rational economics and all this kind of shit. It's going to be some heated friggin' stuff going on, and we're going to have mechanisms that stop us from going ballistic on each other, and literally ballistic. And so it's going to get messy. And yeah, so let's talk about that. It's okay with me. But personally, like I said, I think the best way to do that, the best way to refine human conversation, is to take it back a few steps. Make it where people have to, because there's so many liars talking out there. There's so many Alex Joneses. There's so many frauds and fakes who are communicating messages, and assholes who would put up nothing. They would invest nothing in the truth they're trying to shove down other people's brains or into other people's brains. And that's the problem, is that you're competing with all this noise, all this crap.